What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Building London, part number 3. Glad to have everyone back. Sorry about the little lapse there in videos, but I actually just got done moving. More info to come on that. I just want to give everyone big thanks for the following, the likes and the comments and the subscribers and everything's been. You guys have been great lately. But let's get started here. We've gone ahead. I've downloaded a few mods. We're gonna get into that as far as what I've actually added. I don't know if you can tell, I added the wide camera lens mod. I want to say that's what it's called. Kind of gives the city a different feel. I'm not sure how it's coming out on YouTube, but it definitely makes the game look a little bit better in my opinion. So we go ahead and did that. Let's see, what else did we add? We actually added this mod called All RCI, residential, commercial, industrial plopper, I think it's what it's called. I'll try to link this stuff in the description below, by the way. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. But what it does, it's actually not going to help us too much in this city, though. But I was messing around with it in another city. It takes a second to load up, but if you click on, like, the government tab here, it's actually, for the most part, almost every building in the game. Like, you can just add them in. Like, if you want an ice cream parlor over here, you can just plop it in. Okay, maybe not. I could swear it was just working, but yeah, this is like an RCI plopper. You can add in just about everything in the game. This is pretty resource heavy here, but like if you wanted one of these here, you can add this in and it'll construct itself. So it's pretty cool. It lags the game just a little bit, but I saw that available on the Simtropolis, so I went ahead and I threw that one in. What else? What else? We had some incidents here where people are getting a little upset, but again, we're more on the development stages of the city, not really the part where we're going to be moving people in. And as you can see, we've actually got some row houses coming in, which is very cool. And we're going to have to keep an eye on this little area here. Main focal point of today's episode is going to be our little train station, or I should say big train station over here. I wish it was not nighttime, but it will be daytime soon. I went ahead and I spent some time here, and I tried to put together a good of train station as I can. I know it seems like it's a little chaotic, like when you go up close, but from a distance it definitely looks like a legit train yard, and that's kind of what the idea I was going with. And what else? I kind of added the newer train station mod here. I guess we could tweak it a little bit, but all in all, limited amount of glitches, which is always good. And like I said, the rail yard looks pretty to scale. I have to try to figure out a way to get, what is this out here? Just a little lone piece of highway over here. I guess that was from when I was toying around with Sky's Freeway mod. But I guess I'll have to toy around with trying to linking up the rail yard or the rail lines from down over here, where they at down here, to down this way. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it, but I might have to spend some time off camera, maybe, I don't know, tweak it down, or maybe I can go underground. I forget if you're able to do that, but I'll mess around with that again off camera. This episode here, again, I want to focus on this little aisle out here, and let's get started. So, again, that multi-city plopper, I thought it was going to be of a big help to us, so we can kind of add in these city-specific buildings for London. However, I don't see where these buildings are actually ploppable. My thoughts are they're probably replacing other buildings, residential buildings that is, and I don't know which ones they are. I mean, but for those of you that kind of wanted to see how this mod works, again, it taxes your system just that little bit. So please be ready for that if you don't have like a high-end PC. My PC is pretty good, and it's still a little laggy, so I can only imagine for some of you all that don't really have the best computer, you might be asking for trouble downloading something like this, but it is pretty cool. They've had stuff like this for other Simcities, and as you can see me clicking through the menus here, there's just tons of stuff. I never realized how many different buildings there were until I downloaded something like this. I don't know which ones this replaces, you know what I mean? And I don't see it here. I really was wishing it was in there. It would have made our lives a lot easier with plopping buildings. Plus, it would make the city look a little bit fuller, as opposed to having to lay down the residential, commercial, industrial, and waiting for the buildings to kind of grow up and hoping that they grow up in the right fashion. This actually kind of just, I think these are all high density. This kind of saves, but some of the buildings, I mean, it's pretty cool. It's almost like having It's almost like having more landmarks, you know, because some of these buildings, depending on how well your city is doing, you might not even get to see some of these buildings, and it's pretty sweet. I'll have to say I'm very happy. This is, I think, the one that's in that little trailer for the video at the beginning of SimCity before you launch the game. But like this building here, I'm not sure if I've ever seen. You know, like I said, I don't know how many of these we're going to be able to use in this city, just because of the nature of it. However, for future cities to come, I mean, this is pretty cool, I'll have to say, and we're down into industrial, so anywho. All right, so let's flip over to the map. Let me go over here real quick, and we're going to flip over to the map real quick. Let's try to center this up here. So let me take a look at the map myself. Now, again, we're focused on this little area here where it says Park Plaza, Westminster Bridge, London. That's where we're kind of coming over that bridge to the train station now. Again, I mean, doing our best with it. There's limited amount of space. Oh, yeah, that was the other thing I was going to say. They actually came out with a mod. I don't have it installed here because it's so buggy. But, yeah, they have another mod that just came out. It's, I guess, in the beta where it actually expands the city boundaries. And you guys can probably check out Simtropolis again for that. I downloaded it and I checked it out, and it is really buggy. And, hey, you know, I mean, all great things take steps. So it's definitely a step in the right direction. However, it is really buggy, and they're going to have to work on some stuff. But yeah, for example, it'll take a boundary like this and maybe make it, if you watch my mouse pointer, maybe like that big. So probably about at least twice as big. So yeah, if you guys want to check that out, just use it your own, you know, be cautious when you use this stuff because you might lose all your saved games. I didn't, fortunately. I kind of added it and deleted it real quick, but yeah, I think it was Zoxide that put that one out, if I'm not mistaken. I'll have to check, though. He does most of those pretty serious mods. Skystorm, I haven't seen review any of the mods as of late, and I'm thinking that's just because of the bugginess nature of it. It's kind of pointless to review a mod that's going to glitch out your system, but all right, so enough talking for now. It's been 5 or 6 minutes of just talking, but we're going to go ahead and focus on this area here. Now, as we kind of did over here, we're gonna focus more on like the row houses. I think we might have went a little bit too. I think we should go a little closer here because I'd like for these houses to butt up against the water. Unless we can do 2, I don't think it's gonna let us though. Let's see here. Can we get another road in here? Yeah, we can. Let's see. Yeah, it's not going to fit another one, though. Huh. Yeah, I was hoping we can get more than one row of residential buildings in here, but I don't think it's going to happen. So I'm wondering if we should just go a little closer to the coastline there. I just don't want it to look so off-scale that... But I don't think it will, though. The way it has it is this kind of... There's a road that kind of branches off here. Something like this, let's say. And let's just throw that down. And then there's houses here, there's row houses here, and then there's row houses here. So I guess that would probably work. I don't know, that's just gonna bug me if it's not on the water, but let's try that. We'll put this a little closer down to the coast. This way those houses, like I said, are right down along the water. Some of you have been asking, you know, if I'm still uploading and this and that. But yeah, I mean, I kind of said in the first episode that I'm going to do my best with it. You know, I mean, I'm a full-time employee, doing my best. Some of the other series, I'd go ahead and record a bunch of these videos, like, beforehand. That's not going to work, but... The problem with that is it kind of limits my interaction with you all. You know, if I record a bunch of videos and yes, you guys see them, or guys and girls, you see them. However, it kind of limits my interaction with everybody in the fact that if somebody sees that I do something wrong or do something right or they want to suggest something, the video's already done, you know? I mean, it's just scheduled uploader, and when they come up, they come up. That's not going to work either. I think I had it in the best spot possible. So I've decided to go ahead and just release the videos as I can. Some of you might like that, some of you may not. Everyone that watches has got kind of their own schedule. That's not going to work either. Hey, just to give you an idea, this is what I'm looking for here, a little tip. So if everyone wants to know if it's going to zone a high density building, okay, look here. See this color green? It's that dark green. See how it goes to light green? Dark green, no good. Light green, good. So here it would zone a high density building, but here it would not. I don't know if, for those of you that don't know that, but same thing with roads too. If you're going to place down a road and you're wondering if it's straight or not, if you follow a road on the road guides and it's light green in comparison to dark green, it's not zoning lined up. I guess I could spend all day with this, but anyway, so limiting the interaction. Some of you might like it, some of you may not. I'm doing my best with it, and you know, it is what it is. So I know it's been about a week and a half before I uploaded, but again, I'm moving. And hopefully I'll be able to get on a little bit better of a schedule for everybody. Wow, this is a lot more challenging than I thought. Maybe I didn't even have it right to begin with. Huh. I guess we'll reserve this little corner here for a park. That's fine. We'll let me even put one in. Parks. That's another thing too. It's kind of going to hinder it a little bit. These buildings require high density, and excuse me, not high density, high wealth. So kind of forced with putting parks in, and I know parks are cool and they look nice and everything, but we're going to kind of hinder ourselves just a little bit because we're going to have to put these parks in everywhere. And as you can see, per our land value little tab here, this area is pretty covered, but again, we're probably going to have to do something down here. So every so often, we're going to have to kind of throw in a park, which is good and bad. And I don't know, we'll have to kind of keep our eye on it just to see how much of a park we're actually going to need, or if there's anything else we can do to increase the land value. I don't know, but yeah, those buildings will not zone unless it's high density land value. Just a little tip there. And let's take a look at our map. Man. Looks like there's room for one row of buildings. Like, if I just gone ahead and zoned a road. Actually, that might work out well there. And let's see, will we fit something in here? I think it just may. I don't know, we can just maybe do some commercial there and we'll see. Alright, cool. That is actually going to work. That's a little bit more to scale than I thought it would be. And I don't know. It's just kind of now we're kind of in the process now where it's just kind of going to be laying of the roads, developing. I know last episode I left off with this train station. Train station took quite a bit of time to kind of get this all laid out. Some of you may like it, some of you may not, but I think it looks pretty solid. It completes the idea that I was going for. The only problem is we're not linked up yet. And just, I guess, just for the purpose of it, I want to try to see if I can run underground train lines. I've never tried that before. I think it depends on the city, not the city size, but the, what am I looking for? The water tables. Yeah, you see how the water tables are so low? It's not going to let me build a tunnel. Dang. That's outside the zone. We can't pick that. Yeah, I guess we're going to be stuck with that one. Some of you have suggested that I just run the lines just down. Some of you actually asked if Sky had a regional rail line mod, and I think there might be one. To be honest with you, I'll have to look. It's actually a good suggestion. I wasn't thinking of that when I was reviewing the list of mods, but another thing I was thinking of doing too, I might do off camera, is adding like if we plop out here, like a little support city out here with like garbage services and you know, some of the small things, maybe like to fund our power. Because right now, I don't want this. I mean, I know it's a solar plant, but I don't want that plant there. It's kind of annoying looking, if you ask me. In the way. Let's see. I want to add more of these buildings. Why are we? Oh, this is why they're all dying off, because there's no connection here. That's my fault. Sorry, guys. So sorry. I think I had the connector there, but must have deleted it. All right, so like I said, wide camera lens is looking pretty sweet. Another thing I did, I went ahead and I threw up this bridge, as you can all tell. Um, there's actually few bridges in London that kind of connect this one. I don't know if it's an island, but this one part of the city to the other over this river. That's, I guess, the second bridge up, and kind of doing a good job of keeping everything feng shui. And there's actually a couple more roads here. There's actually one that runs right along the coastline. I guess we can put that in. I'm going to try to stick to more just roads, not avenues, just because it's taken so much space. It's just kind of crazy. But I'm going to attempt to keep this along the coastline to the best. It's actually drawn out a little bit. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yeah, but I definitely think this game is taking a step in the right direction. I think it's, ever since launch, it's been taking gradual steps in the right direction. And especially with this new, new City Plopper mod, and then we have the new potential City Boundaries mod. I mean, it's just, it's just people hard working, trying to think. There's a lot of people out there that love this game, and, there's just a few things out there that were left out, and they're doing their best to kind of recreate that. And, much appreciated to them. For those of you modders out there, the modder community that watch my videos, man, much appreciated. Guarantee each and every one of my followers are appreciative of it. The basic game, the vanilla game, it's not really anything to, run home with. However, once you go ahead and add these mods in, it takes the game to an whole new level. So, anywho, hopefully we can get this area developed over here. There's actually a park down this way. Now, I want to kind of give it some time to see which buildings do come in. I decided this here is a little not to scale as well. However, I'm not really sure of another way to get this, because you can't delete this, for example. You can add more roads with the regional freeway mod, but you can't really delete this, and it's going to look really tacky if I just left the little nub here and then started to create more roads. So I just decided to keep this. This is our main entrance to our city. Medium density, that is. So we'll go ahead and I'm going to let this city, or excuse me, this area develop. And I know last episode I don't even think we had any of these buildings, so it's looking pretty good. And maybe I can do like one more small park over here. And it's just going to be kind of tweaking from here on out. See, there we go. Perfect. So it's going to be kind of tweaking as these come in. They usually start as mansions and then develop into these row houses. So that's looking pretty good. Same thing out here. This here in particular, I don't know if this has actually been laid down properly. It looks like it should zone, though. You know what I mean? It looks like it should. Huh, that's new, I think. Did you see that? I guess just being on the coastline, unless it's falling over from over here, improves land value. That's actually pretty scary. I never noticed that they've done that. Houses on the water just automatically, I guess no rear neighbors, automatically have better land value. It's pretty cool. So same thing over here. We're going to have to kind of develop these areas here, find out where the parks are. There's definitely a big park right here in this area, so we can actually zone that off, and it's actually butted right up against the railroad tracks. So, man, I hate to mess with this here, but the railroad tracks actually come off down this way. Let's see if we can just edit that just a little bit. It's more like this. I'm asking for real trouble messing with this, guys. But this is kind of what I was doing with this. And you can only hope that it gets synced up the way it should. All right, cool, it did. Wow, lucky. And then this stuff here, this is just kind of just a process, you know what I mean? There we go. And I can always mess with that a little bit later on. But yeah, this park here actually goes right up alongside, and I'll go ahead and throw down these roads here. I like to try to keep it, I don't know, maybe we can do low over here. Goes right up against the railroad tracks. We'll keep, we'll keep it low density for now. And for those of you that didn't check out the other episodes of the series, I'll go ahead. I actually have them all in a playlist, and I try to keep my playlists up to date. A lot of you, and I know it's crazy, but man, there's so many people out there that are watching like my videos from. It's kind of impressive, but you know, watching my videos from back in the day, like I'm talking like when Cities of Tomorrow first came out, and you know, my first videos. I mean, it's pretty funny, but so yeah, and we'll develop this area here. This will be more like parks, and like we can do stuff like this over here, and blah blah blah, and yeah, so that'll be a park. And what else down here? This is going to be, I guess, another little commercial, I guess. The commercial would probably be fitting over here near the train yard, and the commercial buildings as well. They zone up to, and I don't know if we're going to have enough room over here, but either way, I mean, London in particular, there's, of course, umpteenth amount of buildings like this, but there's a, you know, a large amount of modern type buildings that are fixed in there, which makes the city so much better to look at, so much better to likely visit. But yeah, a good mixture of modern buildings, modern businesses, as well as old historic buildings, and it just makes it great to take a look at. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and wrap this one up. We're right around that 20-minute mark. I hope you guys enjoyed. I know it's been a while since I've uploaded. I'm going to try to get on a little bit better of a schedule here. We've actually given you guys a good view of how we're starting to take shape here. Again, once everything kind of gets up and developed, we're going to have rows of homes like this throughout. Of course, we're going to have to fix in some commercial just because, but I'm going to probably off camera, maybe now, not going to do it, but yeah, create a little city out here with maybe a fusion plant so we don't have to think about electricity or anything like that. Get rid of some of these things that are clogging up our beautiful scenery and our beautiful areas here where we can populate. So again, thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. If you have any suggestions, feel free to leave a comment below. We'll try to get a video up here shortly. And, you know, again, I just really appreciate all the following and the support. You guys have a great way. Bye-bye.